Good evening. I will call the November 12th, 2024 Bermuda Run Town Council meeting to order. As a reminder for everyone, please silence your phones. Do want to recognize we have a quorum, 4 council members present. Agenda item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Stand if you may. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is the intent of the Town Council to make solemn the proceedings of this meeting and the business brought before the governing board, to offer the opportunity for a reflective moment of silence. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Town of Bermuda Run Code of Ethics Statement. Mr. Meadwell, Mr. Williams is not here tonight, so Mr. Meadwell is doing double duty. I assume that translates into double pay. We'll have to see. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 160A-86 and 160D-109 and the Town of Bermuda Run Code of Ethics Policy adopted November 9th, 2010, and further endorsed on August 9th, 2022. I would ask each of you, before you adopt the agenda, if there are any actual, potential, or perceived conflicts of interest with respect to any matter on the proposed agenda which will come before the Town Council for a vote at this meeting today. If so, please speak up and let Council know at this time before the agenda is adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Meadwell. Agenda item number 5, adoption of the agenda. The council has had an opportunity to review the agenda. Are there any revisions, or do I have a motion to approve?
One item change. I would like to add an action item to the agenda regarding the vacant town council seat.
My second.
I make a motion to add that to the agenda.
So let me make sure I capture this vacant town council seat appointment.
Correct.
Okay, we'll add that to the end. That's a motion. Do we have a second? Show of hands. Motion carries 4-0. Item number 6, excuse me, that was the addition of the item to the agenda. I now need a motion for the adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Motion, Mr. Ernst, second, Ms. Schaefer. Show of hands. Thank you, Council. 4-0. Now, item 6, approval of the October 8th, 2024 Town Council meeting minutes. Council's had an opportunity to review. Any revisions? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Tedder, second by Nelson. Show of hands. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Council. Agenda item number 7, citizens' comments. I understand there is no one who signed up. Moving swiftly on. Agenda item number 8, presentation. So tonight we have a host of folks from Davie Respect Initiative. Welcome. We have Ms. Gail Hansler from Davie Respect Initiative that will start off the presentation.
Thank you, Mayor Brannon and Bermuda Run Council. The Davie Respect Initiative is in its 7th year. It invites and challenges young people ages 12 to 21 to develop ideas or projects that promote respect in Davie County. Each quarter, up to 3 applicants are chosen to be an ambassador of respect. All 3 receive a DRI t-shirt, a certificate, a beautifully hand-carved medallion, and a check for $1,000. In addition, the ambassadors have the opportunity to participate in other ambassador in activities and events and service projects. Recently, we received a letter from one of the parents, and we'd like to share this with you. Dear DRI team, we wanted to express heartfelt gratitude for all you do for our young people. Since our daughter received her award and became an ambassador, we've seen remarkable growth. She's now confident, proactive, and even trying out for the basketball team. DRI empowers youth with agency, fostering invaluable life skills. Our family's experience has been so positive. From the thoughtful interview process and volunteer panelists to the celebration event with the mayor's presentation and a meaningful service activities alongside fellow ambassadors. Thank you for caring. My husband and I truly believe DRI is inspiring young leaders. Now let's hear from 3 of those young leaders because they are the real inspiration, and that's Sean, Ava, and Silas.
Hello, I hope you're doing well. My name is Sean Lane. I'm a senior at Davie High School. I guess I should start by telling you how I got introduced and how I started my own project. So I had a couple friends, prior ambassadors of respect who won, and so I thought, how can I help the community? What project can I come up with that I can help spread respect in the community? And so I first thought about what I'm passionate about and what I like doing, and so I like crafts, and I'm kind of a crafty person, and so I thought, how can I make a project where I can kind of be passionate, do stuff that I like and be passionate about, and also help the community. So I thought, well, how about I make cards and I give them to senior citizens at senior homes, and so that's what I did. So I wish I had them with me. I try to find them to present to you all, but one, for example, I made, it was a sunflower, and all of them were like little pop-up cards, and so you'd open them up, and this sunflower had a sun in it, and it said, "Be someone else's sunshine." And so cute little things like that when given to someone, it would just make someone's day and make them happy. And so I was able to do that, and I applied, and I was accepted, and it was just a fantastic opportunity. And now I'm an ambassador of respect. Everyone who's accepted is an ambassador of respect. And so each quarter we do a project. And so we've done everything from trash pickup to this one was fun. Last Valentine's Day we did a bingo night at a senior center. I forgot the name of it, but it was so fun. And so we had a collection drive of prizes, and so we got to host this bingo night. And we've done one of my favorites. We do this at least every year. We do hang out with there's a group called the Impact of the Triad group, that it's made of intellectually disabled, special needs community adults. And so we give them an opportunity we kind of have a party, and we dance and eat, and it's just a great opportunity to interact with them, and it's just fantastic. And so things like that's what we do as a group. And so that's my story, how ambassadors of respect are involved. And so now I've continued my involvement, and I'm currently serving as a volunteer panelist, the same panelist that decided that I would be able to be a part of this. And so now I'm able to listen to all of these awesome ideas, and it's just fantastic. And one of my favorite things that I've been involved with as a high schooler, and I'll always remember it. But thank you, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, councilmen and women. It's an honor to be here tonight to talk to y'all a little bit more about Davie Respect and the impact that it's made on my life through helping others. So my first project was called Pencils for Peers, and it's a clever little name for what it really did. But I noticed a prominent problem in the classroom with the students of our Davie County schools. They often came to class without a pencil, and often the teacher had to stop class entirely to give the said student a pencil. Well, I mean, this was one after one after one, and I realized that the funds for these pencils that they were giving out came out of their own pocket. So with that, combined with the help of the Davie Respect Check and help of the community, I was able to collect and donate 21,000 pencils to all of our Davie County schools, just to help make the lives of teachers just a little bit easier for that aspect. This project taught me the power of thought and putting myself in the shoes of others to make a difference in the lives of others. I also realized that finding a solution begins with me. It begins with my thoughts and my actions. And that's really what DRI is all about. And that makes this organization just that much more special. My second project was called Blooms of Hope. And I actually just completed this one about 2 weeks ago, I think. And so to start out with this one, I love flowers. I absolutely love them. Anything to do with them. So I wanted to find a way to incorporate that passion into helping others and making other people smile. So combined with this passion and the contributions from the DRI check, I was able to make 53 floral arrangements for the folks of Somerset Nursing Home in our local community in Mocksville. And this truly was probably one of my favorite projects that I've ever done, because it was something that I enjoyed doing, something that I was talented at, and I was able to share that with those residents. And you could tell just how thankful they were to receive those, and they were just overjoyed. And I couldn't have been more happy to give those arrangements away. Also, another aspect of that project for those residents was seeing a new face, because often the only company that those residents receive is the nurse that comes to do daily checks, comes to check on them and do everything that they need for daily life. So seeing a new face and these uplifting colors was much more impactful than we could ever imagine. So finally, to end out with that, the Davie Respect has allowed me to, again, utilize thoughts and put them into actions, and also to develop important interpersonal and community teamwork skills. And working with my teammates of DRI, it's truly been a privilege to be a part of this organization. DRI is absolutely developing the leaders of tomorrow in this community, and again, that's just what makes it that much more special. Thank you all so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Brannon and Bermuda Run Town Council. I'm very grateful to be here and able to speak to you today about my experiences with the Davie Respect Initiative. My name is Silas Johnson, and my only project for the DRI back in 2022, a friend of mine and we were deeply moved by what we had heard about the DRI from our Beta Club advisor, Ms. Perliman, and she had informed all of us that we should go out and apply. And we thought, how should we make a difference in our community? And at the time, I was a 7th grade student. I was 12 years old at South Davie Middle School. And me and my friend, Scarlett Brock, we analyzed what was going on at our school, what was happening around us, and why people maybe weren't feeling as respected or honored as they should be. And one thing we noticed was that at South Davie, many students did not speak English very well or had taken English as a second language or ESL courses. And because of this, we realized if you do not speak English very well, that can be really something challenging and hard to overcome. And due to this, our project developed as a Spanish learning club. We reached out to the ESL advisor at our middle school and created a Spanish learning club in coordination with our Beta Club, and it reached over 25, 30 members on some days, and it really demonstrated a profound care for people in our community, because we weren't expecting people at South Davie to learn Spanish overnight. That would really be a wild task, but it was insanely influential and truly a wonderful experience that I can never forget, seeing how people who were struggling to learn English, how it brightened their day to know that there were other people in the community who were trying, who were respecting them by even learning some of their language. And that was a small act of kindness because, like I said, we're not going to learn Spanish overnight, but it was something that showed that people in the community care for one another more than people have been able to give credit for in times like this. Truly, Davie Respect Initiative has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. It's opened me up and other ambassadors up to incredible experiences like the Denver delegation, the All-America City Award delegation, which is the reason Davie County is now an All-America City Award, and all of the various philanthropical, however you would say that word, experiences that the other two have mentioned, like volunteering, going to Somerset Nursing Home. Those have all been incredible experiences that have allowed us to sort of hand over this torch of respect and brighten the days of others in Davie County. And that really, to me, means more than anything. Being able to go out there and brighten people's days and make a difference is incredible, and nothing has ever allowed me to do that more than Davie Respect Initiative. The opportunities as well that DRI has offered are innumerable. The check, of course, was sort of an incentive for people to apply, but if you were to ask me today what the greatest thing I've earned from Davie Respect Initiative is, that would be at the bottom of my list. I have met so many new friends, been open to so many new experiences, learned about things like the surfboard and other young people in our community who are really trying to make a difference. And this has really shown me, it's given me a hope, a renewed hope for our future, not only in Davie County, but on a wider scale as well. Because I truly believe that with organizations like the Davie Respect Initiative, we are able to hold a bright future, a future of leadership and a future of commitment to the community. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Silas. You want to step down?
Sure.
Probably try to get us here as close as we can.
Come on, you guys are not. Come on in here. Come on in here. You're way more important than we are. Get in here.
I need to squeeze in.
Got a wide angle. Good.
Thank you. Thank you for listening and for having us.
Hey, guys, before
you.
before you leave,
No.
before you guys leave, thank you.
Thank
I mean,
Very much.
public speaking
Yeah,
can
I
be
just-
overwhelming and nerve-wracking, but you guys were awesome.
Yeah, just
So,
want
thank
to
you
say
for what
that
you
the things you were talking about in terms of solutions thinking and teamwork and engagement and communication and leadership and respecting others and growing awareness about yourselves and the world around you are things that are going to serve you well personally and professionally for the rest of your lives. Also, your enthusiasm and positivity is contagious, and that doesn't cost a dime, but it really spreads everywhere. And so the impact you have, I'm sure, goes way beyond what you've even imagined. And thank you so much for your example and your inspiration. It's really
Thank you.
extraordinary.
Very much.
Robert, if people know any young people, I mean, these guys are hard to beat, I know, but if you meet anybody, any young people, grandchildren, children that are doing good, being kind, showing respect, you can nominate them.
Okay.
And
Thank
they
you.
can apply for the Davie Respect, and they might win $1,000.
Great. Thank you very much for all you do. Well done. Thank you. How inspiring.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes you proud.
It does indeed. Now we go back to our agenda. It feels a bit of a downer, but we'll work through it, right? But, wow, very motivating. All right, moving on to our proposed action items. Item 9A, addendum to the Davie County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement Services Agreement. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before you tonight is an addendum to our current law enforcement contract that we have with the Davie County Sheriff's Office. If you recall, this agreement was approved in November of 2022. This addendum is for additional equipment to be utilized by the Sheriff's Office. I will remind you that there is no change to our fiscal year 24-25 budget, as these additional funds were already included in that our budget for this year. So no change to our budget. So, Mr. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Meadwell. Any questions for Mr. Meadwell?
Nope.
If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Tedder, second by Ms. Schaefer. Show of hands. 4-0. Thank you, council. Action item number 9B, resolution accepting street right-of-way into public street system. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you look through this resolution, it's probably easier just to see the Exhibit A map that's included that actually defines what we are accepting or being asked to accept. This is the northern stub off of East Kennerton Way that connects adjacent to the Windmont Barn, but connects to the pedestrian bridge that goes over Interstate 40. This is one of the last legal hurdles that we have been working on to have this connection to the pedestrian bridge and a connection all the way to the Blue Heron Trail. So we have worked very long on getting this, and this is one of the final pieces to this legal puzzle that we have really worked hard on. So I'll be more than glad to ask any questions, but we are accepting this as street right-of-way for maintenance purposes. It doesn't say that it opens the street per se. For access, I think it'll still remain as a commercial drive, but it does give us the rights to use that.
So as Mr. Meadwell said, the journey to accomplish what we'll call Blue Heron Trail Phase 2 is essentially the connector of the trail from where the current roundabout is, where the flags are located now, ultimately to connect that up to the pedestrian bridge, across the pedestrian bridge, and then down to Twins Way. Mr. Meadwell pointed out, this is a key part of that connector to allow us to now be able to work to stripe Talbot Street, which is the street that runs between the current Blue Heron Trail Phase 1 up to this newly acquired piece of land, and now up and over the bridge, and then be able to work down to Twins Way. So kudos to our town manager. I can't tell you the number of meetings we've had and conversations and where are we and why it's taking so long and what's the challenges, but we're there. And we're going to continue to make progress on this, and happy to one day be able to open up that bridge and have Phase 2 complete, and then we'll focus our attention on Phase 3. Again, all of this targeting what we heard from folks from our survey feedback and wanting to have connected communities and walkable pedestrian pathways, and this makes that happen. So with that, I'll open up the council. Have any questions for Mr. Meadwell?
None.
No questions? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ernst, second by Ms. Nelson. Show of hands. 4-0. Thank you, council.
Well done.
Yes. Yes.
All right, moving on to item 9C, amend the 2024 meeting schedule. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The one change here on the 2024 council meeting schedule is the start time of our agenda meetings. As you recall, previously we were starting at 8:30, but I think with some changes that have occurred, it's really allowed us to move this up to 9 o'clock. And with our format of how we do our agenda meetings now, we're able to get finished a little bit sooner than previous boards. So asking council to approve this. The reason you're having to do this is because you approved a meeting schedule last year, setting those times. To change this, you have to adopt or amend the approved schedule that you have set. So.
Thank you, Mr. Speedwell. Yeah, and I will say that when we have our agenda meetings, it can be sometimes challenging for our residents to get here at 8:30, and by having the meeting time move at 9 o'clock, our hope is actually there'll be more folks that'll be able to attend the meeting, and it's more of a standard start time. Any questions for Mr. Meadwell? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to amend the 2024 meeting schedule.
I'll second.
Motion by Nelson, second by Schaefer. Show of hands approval. Thank you, council. 4-0. Staying on the theme of meeting schedules, amending the 2025, is it really amending or is it actually creating the 2025
Yeah,
schedule?
approve the 2025.
Mr. Meadwell.
So before you is our 2025 council meeting schedule. A couple things to take note of. Our November meeting will be the third Tuesday of the month due to Veterans Day falling on November 11th. Is the second Tuesday. And our agenda meetings that in November and in December, we are not proposing to have those meetings due to the Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas holidays. Now, that's still, you as council may do a called meeting at any time. So if we typically see that we need this second meeting in November, you're more within your authority to do so, to do that, or even in December. So, but for right now, just out of caution, we're just not going to schedule those for November and December due to the holidays.
Yeah, if we held the November meeting on the 18th, we would literally be 1 week away from the next meeting, and so it doesn't make a lot of sense to have two back-to-back meetings. And as Andrew pointed out, council always has the latitude to schedule a special meeting if some decision need to be made or some action need to be taken. We certainly can do that, but this schedule essentially mirrors what we've done in the past, except adapting to a change in the November sequencing. We typically don't meet in December for an agenda meeting, but the same thing. If need be, we can certainly call one if council would agree. So with that, any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ernst, second by Mr. Tedder. Show of hands. 4-0. Thank you, council. Pardon me. So we have a new item that was added to the agenda. This is agenda item, I have it now, agenda item 9E. And my note says vacant town council seat appointment. That was approved earlier in the meeting. So with that, I'll open up for discussion or a motion.
I move that we appoint Rod Guthrie to the town council to fill the vacancy.
We have a motion.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Schaefer, second by Ms. Nelson. Show of hands approval. Appointment approved 4-0. Thank you, council. That concludes our action items. We now move to item number 10, Town Manager Report and Comments. Mr. Meadwell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate council approving this resolution to accept this street right-of-way. This is one piece of the legal puzzle that we have been able to accomplish. This second piece of the legal puzzle occurred on the northern side of the pedestrian bridge, where we have an agreement in place now with the folks at NC Fusion to allow us to go ahead and construct a pathway connecting to Twins Way all the way over to the existing playground facility that's there at Fusion. So, if you recall, this was one of the aspects of the CPF funding that is kind of filtered through the town to projects there. That was one of the things that we want to do. We've seen this as an opportunity to, when we open up that pedestrian bridge, there needs to be a destination for folks to go. So this just made perfect sense for us to go ahead and do this. So really pleased with the partners that we've gotten in our community with Fusion, the Hillsdale Group. So we're almost there. So construction will soon begin. We were able to work with our paving contractor to retain some of the millings that were ground up from our paving project. That will more than likely be enough to do the pathway on the northern side. So as we continue that connection south of 40, really it's some striping and then making that hard kind of connection there off of the asphalt to our Blue Heron Trail. So super excited about this. As the mayor had mentioned, it's a long time coming. I'm really excited and anticipating that this is really going to serve our citizens well. So, secondly, as we're at that general area there, our flag project is coming along as well. Pine Hall Brick is anticipating that the engraved pavers will be delivered sometime mid-November to 1st of December. So we're still waiting on that. I will tell you that the 24-inch bronze medallion that will be kind of the centerpiece of the flag project is completed. I just have to go pick it up. So this project is moving right along too. I know it's kind of dormant for a couple of weeks, but still working with the contractor on how we're going to be able to mount the donor plaque as well as our town seal medallion to that, waiting for the pavers. But once that comes in and that we're able to start, it should be a fairly quick process to get that completed. So, but really excited about that. And the really last thing that I want to leave council with is leaf pickup. It's that time of year. The contractor, we have a new contractor this year. They've primarily been working in the east. They've picked up some in Kennerton, in the areas where they had leaves out. The progress is probably not as anticipated, and I think it's kind of this kind of learning curve on new piece of equipment. If you've seen the equipment that the contractor has, it's I would equate it to more of a municipal leaf truck instead of kind of the dump truck and that has the back on the back and it's blowing the leaves up. So we're working out a plan to have additional resources brought in midweek to the end of the week to run all the way up to and probably that week after Thanksgiving, just to get that. I think we're at the peak time for leaves to start coming in. And I think as you drive around, we have piles of leaves that are starting to form, but a lot of folks haven't even started raking yet. So I think we're hitting this at the peak time, but I think as with anything, it's just try to use just a little patience. I understand. I know we're getting calls here at Town Hall, but I think once we get this cadence established, we'll have a better idea of what the capabilities of the equipment is that he has, and able to kind of establish these new schedules and routes to go through. So feedback is always important. The contractor is very attentive. Each of his trucks have the street maps of our area. They've been laminated, so they're circling areas and highlighting areas where the attention needs to be. So, but if you hear comments, please forward those on, and so I can provide that feedback to the contractor. So.
Right now, it appears that the primary initial phase here is really what I'll call the primary roads within the community. So whether it's Kennerton or wherever, it's first the primary roads and then kind of working your way from there. As I said, I think a month or two ago, and Andrew echoed the getting his degree in leafology. Part of our challenge is just, you know, when it comes down and you start to collect, people are wanting to know how quickly can it be removed. It is a process. No community is being left to the side, but every community probably feels like they're not getting it as fast as they would like. We have an excellent contractor, well-known in the community, and I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to get on the other side of this pretty quickly. Folks are welcome to call Town Hall. Last time I checked, Cindy doesn't actually have any leaf rakes or anything that she can go out and do directly. So the message will be, we understand, we're working hard to do this, give us some time. As Andrew said, be patient. Again, I think in a few weeks we'll see the vast majority of this gone. And it'll be more of a standard cadence, but anytime you have a leaf pickup, you have that, what I'll call the big bang approach right at the front, and it takes a little while to get kind of that behind us. But I'm confident. I spent a good part of Sunday driving every road in our town, making notes and sending them to our town manager, which was, I'm sure, highly unhelpful. But I just wanted to get a sense of kind of the neighborhoods, and everyone is very different. If you're in Bermuda Run West, pardon me, there's a contractor that does the vast majority of all their leaves, so they have what I consider to be some small Mount Rushmores over there, because there's massive areas where they've collected a lot of leaves. Whereas if you go to Kenderton, there's a lot of the smaller piles, and then if you go to East, it kind of varies depending on the area. Cul-de-sacs tend to have much larger piles because neighbors are coming together. My friend to my left here has a decent mountain in his area. It's just kind of how that process works. So get the message out to folks. We hear you, we understand. Just be patient with us. We get it up every year. It just doesn't necessarily on the same schedule we'd love to have, but Blakely does a great job, and so I know we'll get on the other side pretty quickly. So, thank you, Mr. Meadwell. All right, let's see. So the group has left, but again, let me just say, if you've not heard of Davie Respect Initiative, just listening to those three young folks, you have to feel a sense of pride and being positive about the future. These folks, not only, as Mr. Tedder said, not only are they well-spoken, standing up in front of an intimidating environment like this, articulated their projects and what they did. That I feel good about knowing our future's in good hands with folks like that. And so I'm hopeful that the message gets out and more individuals are signed up and have the opportunity to become a Davie Respect Ambassador. Great team of leaders that are running that, and you can see folks that run the awards. Almost every person said they took some of their money and did it for their project. So it just speaks volumes to the quality of folks that we have in our county, and I couldn't be more proud of what that initiative is involved in. Yesterday was Veterans Day. I know I heard a lot of folks say this over the last few days, but just a reminder that not only on Veterans Day, but every day, we should take the time to thank those who served in the military. We have Veterans Day and we have Election Day, and in my mind, those things sort of mesh pretty well in our freedoms and our opportunities that we have in this great country. And so whether you buy someone a cup of coffee or a lunch or just shake their hand and thank them, never miss the opportunity to thank someone for their service. And for all those who did serve in the armed forces. Speaking of the pedestrian pathway, so the Bermuda Run East pedestrian pathway continues to move along, as I describe it, as a herd of turtles. It's making progress. Nothing in this role, I think I've learned, moves as fast as I would like it to. But we are making progress. I had hoped that we were able to have listening sessions and some community engagement sessions where we could share what the pathway looks like and what properties are affected. We were hoping to do that in November, but what we've learned and some of the work that's been done by Weatherill, we need to get a few more things tied up and have it more, I think, presentable. So right now we're thinking probably in the January timeframe is when we expect to open up the opportunity for folks to see what the pathway is, and those of us who have property and the easements and all of that to start to understand kind of what the impact is. It's a big project. It's long overdue, 50-plus years based on my math. So just be patient with us, like the leaves, but we're going to get there. So look for some information from the town likely in the January timeframe, where we're open up to anyone to come and see the maps and see the routes and ask questions and all of that. Christmas in the town of Bermuda Run. Anyone out there who hasn't heard of this, we can have a separate meeting. I think just about everyone who lives in and around this town has witnessed what Christmas in the town of Bermuda Run's all about. Pardon me. That will be on Sunday, December the 8th, from 2 to 5 p.m. We have folks on the dais here who are part of that project and planning and coordination. And pardon me, it's one of those times where I think we'll be celebrating our 4th year, pardon me, and every year it continues to grow in participation, and the word gets out, and more people say wonderful things, pardon me, about that great day. So I don't know, I'll ask anything else to add. I know we've got a lot of events going on that day, but all in all, we're pretty much in good shape, ready to go.
We're ready to go.
I love it. I love it. So last week I had the opportunity to go to Shady Grove Elementary and speak to about 80 third graders. You should do that sometime. That's an experience. It's an awesome opportunity. I joke that I think if Jim Bice were here, I think we have some hard pressing questions. I think we've got some future journalists there. I had an opportunity to present information about the town and the role of the town, and also then opened it up and took questions from the third graders. And I'll give you a couple of example questions. So, why did you run for office? What's the most difficult part of your job? So very thoughtful questions about why you do what you do, and et cetera. And then there were, I guess, more of the harder hitting questions like, can you lower our taxes?
That may have come from a parent.
I see Miss Benita Finney back there. I may forward that question to her. But how much are you paid, right? How old are you? So when you speak with third graders, you get the unvarnished set of questions, and I think it's wonderful. It was an awesome opportunity. I likely had the opportunity to do the same thing at Pine Brook, but it's a great opportunity to just communicate with third graders and listen and field those questions. It was awesome. Also, the council and I, plus the town board of Coolamy, had the opportunity to take a tour of the Davie County Sheriff's Office yesterday, and I will say this: wow, how impressive of a facility and all that they do. I can tell you, I had no idea what they did, the complexities of what they do, the services they provide, and JD and his whole team, outstanding. It was a great opportunity to see the whole facility, everything from the forensics labs to the cyber labs to all the different aspects of that facility. And some folks even had the opportunity to use the simulator, where you put on the virtual reality headset, and you're placed into a challenging situation as a pretend law enforcement officer. I witnessed a couple of them and realized this is why I did not choose law enforcement. Very challenging, right? Because the goal is to de-escalate and working through those scenarios, and just very well done in how they're training and educating the deputies that serve our communities in how you deal with all kinds of scenarios. And the list of scenarios that they had as options is, Deputy Foster can attest, quite impressive. So anyway, very cool. Lastly, next month, Town Council meeting, I've invited Mr. Jamin Gaddy from the Davie County Tax Administrator's Office. He'll provide an update on the 2025 property tax reappraisal. So please come back next month and listen to his presentation. With that, I'll open up for council for comments.
I'd just like to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving, peace and joy with your family, friends, and your loved ones. And then if you'd like to get in a little early holiday spirit, go to the town's Facebook page and watch the Christmas in Bermuda Run promo. You'll be singing the jingle all week, I guarantee you. It's very sweet, and lots of new things, so spread the word. It'll be a lot of fun. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion by Nelson, second by Tedder. Show of hands. 4-0. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.